Chris Cuomo is breaking his silence on his older brother, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo resigning from office amid a sexual harassment scandal. The CNN anchor, 51, returned from vacation to his show Cuomo Primetime on Monday to address the scandal and viewers who may be feeling a lot of hurt and a lot of pain right now. My hope is that ultimately everyone involved can get to a better place, that some higher good will be served in all of this, Cuomo said, after dedicating the majority of his hour-long program to President Joe Biden's withdrawal from Afghanistan. Though the anchor said he refrained from covering the scandal on CNN due to his conflict of interest, he acknowledged he gave his brother advice on the sexual harassment allegations against him and revealed he urged the governor to resign. "I'm not an advisor. I'm a brother," he said. "I was there to listen and offer my take. And my advice to my brother was simple and consistent: own what you did. Tell people what you can do to be better. Be contrite. And finally, accept that it doesn't matter what you intended. What matters is how your actions and words were perceived." Cuomo's brother also faces a pending investigation by federal prosecutors in Brooklyn, who are looking into his administration's handling of COVID-19 in nursing homes and its withholding of certain death data at the height of the pandemic last year. Attorney General Letitia James' office is also looking into whether the governor illegally used state resources to pen his book on the COVID-19 crisis, for which he is due to be paid $5.1 million. Cuomo said Monday he never misled anyone on his show and he never influenced or attempted to control CNN's coverage of his family. He added that CNN's rules preventing him from reporting on his brother remain intact. "It was a unique situation being a brother to a politician in a scandal and being part of the media. I tried to do the right thing, and I just want you all to know that," he continued. "This will be my final word on it, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to do so." Last week's scathing report by the New York State Attorney General's office on Andrew Cuomo's behavior also involved Chris, who was interviewed as part of the investigation and testified that he urged his brother to show remorse in conference calls in which he participated. In May, the younger Cuomo acknowledged on air that he had talked to his brother and members of his staff in an advisory capacity as the governor's scandal was blowing up. This was not supposed to happen, per his CNN boss's orders, and he later apologized for it. "When my brother's situation became turbulent, being looped into calls with other friends of his, and advisors that did include some of his staff, I understand why that was a problem for CNN," he said. "It will not happen again. It was a mistake, because I put my colleagues here, who I believe are the best in the business, in a bad spot. I never intended for that. I would never intend for that. And I am sorry for that." "I've never tried to influence this network's coverage of my brother. In fact, I've been walled off from it." Critics call for consequences after Andrew Cuomo resignation. The network has not been pleased with Cuomo's conflict of interest. Chris has not been involved in CNN's extensive coverage of the allegations against Governor Cuomo, on air or behind the scenes, the cable network said in a May statement, in part because, as he has said on his show, he could never be objective. But also because he often serves as a sounding board for his brother. However, it was inappropriate to engage in conversations that included members of the governor's staff, which Chris acknowledges. He will not participate in such conversations going forward. In March, Cuomo explained on air that he couldn't talk about his brother's scandal on his show. Obviously, I'm aware of what's going on with my brother. And obviously, I cannot cover it, because he is my brother, he said. Now, of course, CNN has to cover it. They have covered it extensively. And they will continue to do so. I have always cared very deeply about these issues, and profoundly so. I just wanted to tell you that. But the investigations into his conduct will continue. Andrew Cuomo, a Democrat, announced last Tuesday that his resignation would take effect in 14 days, ending a decade-long run in the office he dedicated most of his adult life to keeping within his family, first as an advisor to his father, the late Governor Mario Cuomo, before winning 3 terms himself. The best way I can help now is if I step aside and let the government get back to governing. And therefore, that's what I'll do, he said in his address. The politician, 63, had defiantly resisted calls for his resignation over the past 5 months, a period in which multiple women, including current and former state employees, publicly accused him of inappropriate or harassing behavior in some form. On August 3, James' office released a report that found Cuomo sexually harassed 11 women, including 9 state employees, violating various state and federal laws along the way. They're saying the accusations against Andrew Cuomo matter. Contributing: Maria Puente, John Campbell, Joseph Spector and Kevin McCoy.